Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome back to the show. We are joined by Reasharl Fonseca. She is a holistic practitioner at Versatility, Tranquility, based out of beautiful Fall River, Massachusetts. We are excited to have her here today. We're going to get to know Reasharl to find out a little bit about what brings her happiness and how she's helping others do the same, find their happiness, and empower them in so many different ways. So welcome to the show today. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for
How are
being
you?
here. I'm doing fantastic. It's exciting to be here.
Right.
You're not too far from us, New York, Massachusetts. So excited for the
Right.
weather change, right? It's getting a little
Oh,
warmer,
yeah,
even though it's a little gloomy today, but it's such a good feeling. So, and life
it
is so
is.
precious. And I'm excited to meet you and to talk about you and all that you do. So, first and foremost, would you
Thank
mind
you.
introducing yourself to us? Thank you.
Absolutely. So my name is Reasharl Fonseca. I
Perfect.
am 42 years old and been in this business for about the last 5 years.
Beautiful. And how did you get into this business?
So it's pretty interesting. I think I was like the weird kid, right? Like I always did things a little different than everybody. And I think I naturally was always kind of a life coach and did things holistically. But how I really got in the business was between growing up in New Bedford and having my mom and my dad. My dad's Cape Verdean, my mom was Portuguese. We come from an area that's very drug ridden. I don't know how else to put that. And I learned a lot growing up with, I had a side of the family that kind of leaned more towards like street medicine. And then I had another side of the family that leaned more towards pharmaceuticals. And I didn't really see a difference between any of them, really. It's funny that families thought they were very different, but they were very much similar. And then growing up in this city, I lost a lot of friends to either, drug overdosing or violence because they were out there, selling drugs. Just really horrible things to kind of like grow up and have to, deal with as a young girl.
Yeah.
And for me, it just never, instead of being a part of the problem, my city's small. It's 13 by 4 miles, New Bedford. So whenever somebody did get, injured or God forbid killed or something, I always felt it because I'm friends with everybody. I never did like the whole like side thing, you know what I mean? So it's really devastating. And refusing to be a part of the problem, I had to do something different. And then being a chef and having that side of things, I at one point was trying to get my food in the grocery store shelves. And that's when I learned a lot about the FDA. And everything just kind of came together for me. And I got into this, I'd say 2017. I quit my job and just
Oh,
started
well,
getting certificates in
do you mind if I
holistic
back
stuff.
up a little bit? I want to know. So, what were you doing
Absolutely.
beforehand? Yeah, tell me a little about the younger years and what you were doing, and then how, yeah, this all transpired. Thank you.
Absolutely. So I'm a retired chef. I still do some cooking. I come from a long line of chefs. My dad opened up a restaurant in my early, like I say I was like 19. At that time, I was still chasing a music dream. I was trying to get a record deal. So I've always wanted time freedom. I was never really a product of my environment, and I've always strived for more. When my dad opened the restaurant, I decided, hey, this is a part of my dream that's actually existing. Let me dig into this for a while. And I did. And when we closed the restaurant, I actually went out and it's one thing to work for your dad and be called chef, but I actually went out and I was able to become a chef, a real chef in a lot of beautiful places in the Cape. And I really got my profession to where I wanted it. I was a chef. I was making all the money that I wanted. And then I learned, my God, money isn't everything. I was a single parent. My daughter was about 7 years old, and I was missing out on the most important things that I could just never get back. So I started looking kind of into life coaching, and I did something told me to do research, and I researched suicide and why it's so big in America. Like, what is the number one reason for suicide? And it was mind blowing to me that the main reason back then, and it was around like 2017, 2016, the main reason at that time was people hated their 9 to 5.
Got it.
And when I learned that, I just was devastated. I mean, who loves their job, right? I guess there is some people out there that do love their job, but it was really sad to know that people felt that stuck and that trapped. You know,
Yeah.
that was the only skill set they ever had, and they were just so afraid of change. So that, in a nutshell, motivated me to quit my job right away because I wasn't happy. I wasn't able to see my daughter. I had all the money in the world. We were able to go on every vacation. She had everything she wanted, but I just really wasn't happy. So when I quit being a chef, I looked crazy to everybody. I hit rock bottom. I call it my rock bottom because I did end up homeless. I ended up staying with my Nana, but it worked out
Oh,
because my Nana left this earth not too long after. So everything kind of worked out the way that it was supposed to. And I had this really intimate experience with my daughter because we were able to, share a bedroom, which isn't ideal, but I wouldn't have changed it for the world. She was still young enough where it didn't affect her. She loved, doing sleepovers with mommy and stuff. So it was intense. I'll say that. And then I ended up moving back in with my mom, and I struggled a bit putting myself through school. I got my life certification at the Fisherman's View in the Cape when they first opened. The owners were nice enough. They couldn't really afford to pay me any more than what they were. It was the beginning. They had just launched the place, and they were nice enough to let me take a course while I was running the kitchen. It
oh
was it
my
was
goodness.
yeah, it was
Wow.
quite an experience. So, and then
Yeah.
later on, I put myself through Spa Tech for polarity. So, and I just keep adding to the certificates.
Oh my goodness. Well, congratulations on
Thank
overcoming so
you.
much. And how old's your daughter?
She's 15. She's such a good girl. I'm so lucky. My goal was to stay out of work and focus on her, and it's not ideal, right? Like
I know.
I went to the extreme. I was willing to be homeless. Most people aren't willing to do all that. At this stage in the game, look in hindsight, I have zero regrets. Was it hard? Yes. But I have the time that I wanted with my child. I'm sitting in my business. I mean, I got a long way to go, but it's happening, you know.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that. I have an 8 and 10-year-old. I've been a single mom my whole life.
Oh,
Same thing. I used to work, work, work.
awesome.
Then I realized, no, gosh, life is not about that.
It's not.
And I want to be with them all the time. And then you're with them all the time. And then I'm like, okay, maybe this is not the best solution. I need a little bit
Yeah.
of both. I mean, I can't afford to be with them full time, but like
Seriously, yes,
it's a love hate relationship, and I don't mean that
it
meanly. I
is.
say that all the time to my family, but it's amazing because it's all about happiness and living our lives. We have one life to live, and here you
Right.
are. And now tell me how this you became a holistic practitioner. And explain now. Tell me. I want to know exactly what you're doing and the types of people you're helping, and I want to hear
Awesome.
more. Go ahead.
So yeah, so after my life coaching certificate, I was like, I just started digging into some things, and I was working on healing for me in a real way, right? After life coaching, you realize, hey, I got to take responsibility and accountability for my health. And I started looking into different things holistically. When I came across polarity, my sister was actually going to Spa Tech for esthetician, and she would come home every night, and she's like, "This is you. I'm telling you, it's everything you always talked about." And so when I came across it, I was driving for Uber, and I stopped in the college, and I said, "Let me just see what it's about." And I ended up signing up. I got approved for a loan that day, a student loan for the first time ever, and I ended up signing up. No, I didn't even think about it. I just did it, and it took me about, I'd say, 8 months to graduate from there. I originally was going to do massage as well, but after doing like a really big rise cleansing that the school offered, I realized no, I'm going to stick to what I want to do, and that's polarity. Polarity is energy work. It's phenomenal. It works for me, and so everything that works for me in a real way, I kind of just went and built a business around it, and I want to share it with everybody else. Polarity kind of starts like a ricochet event of healing in your body. It's light acupressure, balancing out the chakras, the feminine and masculine energy. But I promise you, getting off the table, you feel like you had like four hands massaging you. It's amazing.
Oh my goodness, that's impressive.
It's
Huh?
a it's a very non-invasive way of going into like the subconscious and start ripping apart the first traumatic experience you ever had, because that's what we do. We shove it down and we just keep going. until it catches up with us, and it either turns into pain or it turns into dis-ease in the body, you know.
And, there's so much out there. You mentioned, these innovative technologies and medicines and tools that help us. I want to hear about more of them, please.
So I do work with a tool called Haley. It's a
Oh,
device.
never heard of that.
I'll actually grab it. Sorry. So I wanted to show you because this was one of the greatest investments that I made. Talking about polarity, doing the energy work, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that nobody realizes that I have to do in order to be a really good polarity practitioner of integrity. I have to be cleansed. The Haley kind of does the same thing as the polarity. It's just a small little device. The beautiful thing about this is even if I'm having a bad day, I can hit a button and this will take care of the clients probably better than what I physically could. It is an AI device. In the beginning, I'm like, how is that holistic? But in real time, it reads the body. It's all off frequencies and vibrations. So it will communicate what what the body needs. Like if your liver was vibrating at its optimal health, it would have a certain frequency. So the Haley kind of goes into the system and force feeds the body that frequency. So it naturally lifts up your vibration, and it really works amazing. It works for allergies, pain. You can use it. I haven't tried it for beauty or weight loss and none of that stuff, but you can also use it for pets. In the future, we're thinking of we are pet friendly right now, and in the future, we're thinking of incorporating some holistic, medicine and tools for the animals as well.
Amazing. I mean,
Thank you.
this is fascinating. I just love your personality, your energy, and what's behind you. By the way, is that?
So that behind me is my sign, but if you want, I can show you. So the other thing that we do is yoni and
Oh,
joni
tell me.
steaming.
Oh my God, I've heard all about this. I've never done it. Tell me more. And people
So
out there might not know either. I only
it's
found out about this
amazing.
last year. Go ahead.
Yes. And so when I found out about it, I kind of like automatically like put up my nose. I'm like, this is wrong, like so when I started researching it, I had like a negative perception about it. And then when I really learned about it, I'm like, this is something that women have been doing before medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And it works, it heals a lot of different ailments, so depending on the ailment would be the blend of herbs that you would um, sit on. So you sit on top of. We have these yoni thrones that have like memory foam and infrared heating. The original way, you don't even got to get that fancy. You could sit on top of like a hot pot or even a crock pot or a hot ceramic bowl, and you steam over. My go-to herbs are always rose, chamomile, calendula, and lavender. I don't know why. That's just always my favorite blend. And you sit over it for 15 minutes to about an hour. It depends what you're trying to heal. And the beautiful thing about it is it feels good. Number one. Number two, we also meditate. So it's known for breaking soul ties. Like any past lovers that might be kind of lingering, you wake up and you're like, why am I thinking about, them? And there is a such thing as soul ties. We kind of intertwine souls when we share our bodies with people. And the yoni steaming helps break those ties in a real way. So it really truly cleanses you physically and spiritually. You know, as a woman, we know everything kind of cleanses. That's the powerhouse for a woman, and everything kind of works its way out of our body that way, anyways. So the steaming just kind of helps, and it's very clean. It's also good for the libido. It's a tightening mechanism, which I just learned, and I'm like, I think I'm advertising this wrong. And then we're just learning too that it's great for men. It actually is known to shrink the prostate in men. So good luck
Wow.
trying to get a man to sit on one of those, but we're working towards that, you know.
Amazing. Oh wow.
Thank you.
And what type of now isn't there all different types of formulations that you're using? What's better for what? Like and what are tell me because I when I learned about yoni steams a while ago, there's all different types of how do I say ingredients, I guess, right? Or that do
Yes,
could you just share a little bit of that? Dive in a little
sure.
further for me? Thank you.
If you want, I can show you guys too, if that's
Sure,
okay. Awesome.
absolutely.
Yeah. So different ailments, like the herbs that I steam over. I have really bad periods and menstruals. I get really bad cramps. So this is a little collection of herbs that we have now, and they're all food grade.
Okay.
Everything is like, so I also make a lot of teas with them as well. I'm going for my herbalist certification next so that I can make other things as well. And you'll see it's like nice, fresh, whole lavender. Um, and we have the hibiscus, the mistletoe, um, hawthorn berries. We have so many different blends. And so the one I use is more so so that you can get, it helps with endometriosis. And I'm sorry, it helps with fibroid tumors. I always do this. It helps actually shrink the tumors, and sometimes you can pass them as well, so that your cramps and your menstruation is not as nowhere as bad. And steaming also helps with hemorrhoids as well. It helps with a lot of different things that I didn't realize. And every day I learn something more about the yoni steaming. There's certain herbs that help with fertilization if you want to have a baby. So every day I'm really, it's a learning curve. I usually open up that book for every little thing when I'm putting together something specifically for an individual.
Beautiful. Thank you
And
so
then,
much.
thank you.
What else do you have to show? This is
And
awesome.
this
This is
is
so
our Yoni
pretty.
Steam studio.
Ooh. And how long, how
So
often are you supposed to be
this
doing
is
it?
our Yoni Steam
Oh,
studio.
go ahead. It looks like I know it.
So you can steam every once a week. Sorry, there's a lag here. Sorry.
Okay.
We steam like once a week, and the only time you don't want to steam is, if you're menstruating. But a man can steam once a week, twice a week. And men, they steam more over fruits instead of herbs, which I thought was really interesting. That's
Oh my goodness. That's
our
awesome.
couple's corner.
Beautiful.
And you'll see, like, so this is a standard Yoni steam seat. And inside it has like some infrared. I like these seats because there's a remote control. You can control the heat a lot more, but they're not made for men. The men definitely have to sit on something just a little bit wider,
Mm-hmm.
so that they can comfortably sit. And in the future, we're going to be making our own yoni seats out of like a birch wood, no glue, no chemicals. We're going to do some plus size ones. We want to make it accommodated. We want to accommodate everybody, all bodies.
Beautiful. What a beautiful
Thank
place you
you.
have. You are so welcome. Oh my gosh.
Thank
What
you.
other services do you have? Hold on. We still got more
So we do.
time.
We do offer quite a bit. So I do some holistic catering or private chef events. And I also just got certified for aerial yoga. So in a couple of weeks, I just got to test out. We're going to be doing I'll show you the backyard here. We're going to be doing some aerial yoga outdoors. And that's done on a silk scarf. It's really, really cool. But we have a big, beautiful backyard as well.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to be setting that up with a bunch of like tripods, and we'll do some outdoor aerial yoga with the weather getting nice.
Amazing. Wow.
Thank you.
Very impressive. And I mean, so men, women, and, gosh, well, it's my first time speaking with you. So, I'm learning all about versatility, tranquility. And how did you come up
Awesome.
with the name?
So the name was like, all right, my whole life, everybody's like, you got to focus on one thing. You can't do five things at once. And I understand that. I mean, but I happen to be a little different. I'm somebody who I am multi-talented. I do well under pressure. That's what made me a great chef. And I had to really come up with a name that was going to allow me to kind of put everything under one umbrella. And I just was praying and meditating, and it came to me because I'm very versatile, and what I'm trying to bring to people is truly is tranquility. So it just kind of like came to me one day, and I was like, that's it. And it's I'll tell you what, 5 years later, I had no idea what I was doing, but one thing I did do right was the name, and I'm able to incorporate everything under this one little, it's like a mini wellness center that I'm building.
Oh, Oh, my goodness.
And that wasn't the original goal.
Wait, hold on. What was the original goal?
So the original goal was just to do like life coaching, like on a beach somewhere. That was like my dream, right?
Yeah.
And then I realized, and I could totally do that. Life coaching is really flexible and you don't really need an office. But then when I started getting into like things for me, because I really wanted to reach a place of healing, and it's a lifestyle, right? Like once you come across on this side of the fence, I don't think we ever really reach a place of like completely being healed, but you're at least working towards that. And once I started coming across things like polarity and yoni steaming and the aerial yoga, I'm like, I have to share this with everybody. Like I have to. There's no way that I've been through a lot. I've been through a tremendous amount of things, and I've always came out, triumph, with a triumph story, but it takes a toll on you. Like I tell everybody, I have good days and bad days. My bad days, they can be pretty intense. So when I found these things that actually worked for me in a real way, I was like, there's no way I can't share this with everybody, especially women. Like as a woman, we wear so many hats. We never work on our self-worth. We're usually told the opposite things than what's the actual truth. Like it's incredible that we do everything we do and we struggle with self-worth. Because if we had the self-worth, then it would be like, we know we have that capacity. But to think of everything that we do, and then at the end of the day, all we do is beat ourselves up on top of it, it's truly incredible. And I'm like, I know I'm not alone on this journey. Every girl that I talk to, they're like, yeah, they're all about it. It's very new. We're kind of ahead of the game right now. But that's okay. I've been spending a lot of time educating and pioneering, but I love it. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't trade it for the world. Beautiful. It's interesting to see where it is now.
Well, I congratulate you on all your success and all that you've accomplished and what you're continuing to do in helping so many. And just curious, where are you located specifically? You're in Fall River, right?
So we actually just moved out of Fall River. We moved into a storefront in Dartmouth, Massachusetts, right before the Dartmouth Mall. So we're in a really nice congested area. And I think that this is going to be a more comfortable setting for my customers for sure.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
How can I reach you? Where can we find you? Website, phone number, any form of contact?
So my phone number is 508-232-1591. The website is versatilitytranquilityhealth.now.site, and there is some booking on there. We're also on Google, and if you're in the Dartmouth area, you can always stop by 250 State Road and come on in. Monday and Tuesdays, we're here, and we invite you to, like, we're open for any walk-ins. Everything else is pretty much appointment-based. I'm here more than you would think, but Monday and Tuesdays, we're here no matter what, and we're open for anybody to just kind of come in and walk in.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Pleasure getting to know you, and hopefully we'll chat again soon. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Same here. To all of our listeners and viewers, stay tuned. We'll be right back with more. Please stay with us. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Let's go inside the mind of a 10-year-old.
I should have worn those earrings today. I like those earrings. Gabby has those awesome earrings. I need to ask her where she got those, but that's just what she would want me to do. I'll have Michaela ask her for me.
Buckle up, Sarah.
Yeah, but then Michaela will be like, why don't you just ask her yourself? That's just like Michaela.
Sarah, buckle up.
Michaela's such a great name. I wish I was called Michaela. There's like a dozen Sarahs in my class.
Hey, we're not hitting the road until you buckle up, honey.
Oh yeah, seatbelt. I forget sometimes because my brain is like busy, I wonder if there's pizza at school today.
Sometimes it can be tough to get through to your kids, but it's not impossible. Always make sure they're wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Remember, you have the keys, you have the power. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.